but I think he should be fine. If he can play a 6-hour game against MBL, like you can do anything.
That is true, actually. That is true. Well, I mean, like, if I had to go into a series right now, I do feel a little bit drained from the last match, but at the same time, I feel like I'm warmed up, so I'm ready to play, right? So there
Yeah,
is a little bit of mix of both.
there's definitely going to be some give and take there, but
Yeah.
yeah, I offered to jump on just because I figured that at least like I know if I were playing, like I'd be super tired, so
Yeah, it's
nice
nice
to
to not
chill
have
a bit.
to talk all the time myself.
Yeah.
I think they
It's
started, yeah?
just first game Arabia, hidden pick, no repeat.
Correct. And home maps
Yo.
as well are no repeat, right? So Yo picked Hamburger against Liereyy, which means Yo cannot pick Hamburger against me or Hera.
I'm sure you're very disappointed in that.
I am actually. I like Hamburger. It's good for me. Okay, they have started.
Yeah.
It's an Aztecs war. Hera has changed from Khmer to Aztecs after recent events. Wonder why?
Was that your game one?
Yeah, I was Aztecs, he was Khmer.
Okay, yeah.
He got spanked.
Aztecs are good.
No, it was a close match. He didn't get spanked. But yes, Aztecs are good. All right, Onlu, take it away. I
All
drink
right.
coffee and you cast.
You enjoy your delicious, nutritious coffee, and we are jumping here into game number one in this 3-game series, not best of 3, between Hera and Liereyy, both on Tempo Storm. I have Liereyy here to the west of the map in the green as the Aztecs, and to the east of the map in the blue, also as the Aztecs, will be Hera.
Suddenly this feels
And
professional.
oh yeah, only the most professional casting do you get here.
Indeed.
And there's laming allowed, right? So with both Aztecs, I think there would be a fairly large incentive to do that.
Yeah, laming is allowed, except like usual straggler trees are not allowed to be palisaded and such.
Yeah, yeah,
Liereyy
yeah.
did sneak or steal 2 sheep from Hera already, so Liereyy off to a good start here.
Indeed, he is. And taking a quick look at the maps, first thing I noticed is that for Liereyy, he's got 2 boards in the back next to his back stone and back gold. So that's pretty feels good, man, all around. Berries are a little bit forward, but at least his map is overall fairly wallable. I'd take it.
A lot of back there.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Hera also not too bad. Main gold in the back, he can easily kind of secure that with some walls. The rest of the resource also towards the back, but in a more open space. So all in all, I would say the maps are fairly similar, but Liereyy probably has gotten off to a better start because he did take 2 sheep and he's now trying to take another boar. And Hera is on the other side of the map, so that boar is definitely going to be lamed.
Oh, if only somebody made a 30-minute YouTube video where I just rambled about laming and how uninteractive it can be. Yeah, Hera just made was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Liereyy will be just getting away with this more or less scot-free. And I doubt Hera would be able to counter lame because Liereyy was lucky enough to get 2 back boars, and especially since he is playing as an Eagle Warrior, so if he can just hop the Eagle Warrior in the TC and heal it up.
Yeah, and he's even doing now, since he knows he does take in a boar, he doesn't want to double kill and like have both boars rot. So he's just scouting the rest of his map while the boar is chasing. Because he can at this point. It doesn't really... This is not difficult for a player like Hera to do. Especially with Hera's eagle nowhere in sight. He can afford to do this. And I think he found all his sheep now. And 2 extra sheep from Hera. And an extra boar. So Liereyy definitely in the driver's seat.
Yeah, at this point, Liereyy should be able to dictate the entire pace of the game. He could still certainly open up with a Drush. He has not built a mill yet, because why would you need to? And drushing without building a mill has become very popular these days, and that villager is looking a little sus, and indeed he will be going for the
Very
barracks.
sus. Very sus indeed. Oh, I was a little bit behind, but I'm caught up live now. Yeah, as you said, Hera will pretty much be reacting the rest of the game now, because he is behind. I mean, even his deer is not lurable at this point. They're so far away, so Hera will have to react, and he's gonna have to take some seriously good trades in the early phase to actually not just simply fall behind and die, pretty much, at this point.
Yeah, it's really rough. So as the super mega turbo pro player that you are, what would you do if you're at a Hera in this situation? Would you just try and wall and just go for a bit of a slower feudal age?
I think what I will do is probably like secure the back base with some walls, like from the wood line to the edge of the map on both sides. And the main thing, he's doing the right thing right now, which is just start to farm earlier, because that food will run out and you need to have a consistent food income. So the early farms is kind of forced here for Hera. But
Yeah, I
besides
mean,
that, it's just like scout, get intel, see what's coming your way, and pretty much try to deal with it. It's pretty much the only thing you can do.
well, he will need to be dealing with these initial militia that are coming towards him, also adding the 6 onto forage bushes. So that is obviously another adaptation that you're kind of forced to be doing. But, well, let's see if he can hold. I think he should be fine.
For those of you saying hidden pick no repeat, why is Liereyy Aztecs again? It counts for each series. So Liereyy can still pick Aztecs against Hera, even though he used it against Yo, as he can pick Aztecs when he's playing as me later as well.
So, yeah, the maps you can't pick between series, but the civs you can. I guess that could be a little confusing, but I mean, from a fairness standpoint, it makes sense.
Oh, are we going to see some masterpiece trapping here? Looks like Hera's going for it. Oh, another gate. Yes, that's oh boy, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. I mean, this is a lot of wood invested, and the question is it actually worth it? Because it's just 2 militia. One gate is what, 25? 20? I should
30
know
wood
this.
now.
30, yeah, 30, I knew that. So
Yeah.
this is 60 wood. Oh, he even had it open for a second. This is 60 wood plus a house. 85 wood invested to trap 2 militia. It looks fancy, it looks really cool, but it's probably not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, there's even still a militia running around somewhere. There's also the Eagle Warrior who's still running around. But Hera still will be first. Wait, what?
He let him out!
Did he open the gate?
Yeah, with the male villager just went into the TC. So the issue now is he invested 85 wood into dealing with that, and now he still has to deal with it. It's not only 85 wood, it's also idle time from 2-3 villas that are building these, and it's just so many things are going wrong for Hera here. Feels like Hera is just trying to do like fast castle pretty much. He's probably expecting Liereyy to follow this up with a Drush fast castle, so Hera's reaction is just to wall up, try to survive this, or take as little damage as possible from this, and then transition straight to castle age.
And let's see, clicking up 27 villagers is Liereyy. I'd say that definitely leans itself more towards a fast castle, especially with Aztecs getting the super farms. But yeah, I mean, Hera's just had to invest so much wood into like quote unquote not taking damage that he's really taken actually a fair amount of damage, and I think you can be really happy with this Drush if you're Liereyy.
I actually didn't have the overlay properly, but now I see that Hera is actually already 90% on the way to feudal age, so it probably is feudal age play actually. 2 villas on gold, 1 barracks, so feels like he's probably trying to switch into some early archers into adapt. He did have to go for the forward gold even, so this Drush is paying off so much for Liereyy here.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see why the Drush is such a popular strat these days on Arabia. It's just you can really throw off your opponent, really sort of like, especially if it's like lame into Drush. Like your opponent just doesn't get to do like anything that they want to be doing, and now Hera's just trying to scramble to find an answer.
Yeah, and he's going for the 1 range. I mean, Liereyy is fully walled at this point as well. Really, actually, I mean, he has 3 hunters that are trapped outside now, as he made the full wall, so that's quite interesting. But yeah, like if you look at Hera's base as well, it's just, again, he broke into the berries, he's killing the units though and not losing any villas. Is he? He might lose 1 villager actually. Still another... Ooh, oh, 1 HP.
Calculated.
Indeed. A lot of idle time again, and Liereyy, if we check his resources, looking very good to just go for a straight fast castle. And Hera is going to be scrambling to try and get there as soon as possible as well. Another trap, another pretty looking trap, but yeah, it's looking very rough.
Yeah, so it seems like Hera just trying to get a few archers out, they'll clean up the militia, and then maybe somehow Hera could get some counterattack damage in, but that's honestly looking fairly grim. Liereyy has clicked up to Castle Age. He's going to be going for some crossbowmen of his own, maybe even mixing in an Eagle Warrior or 2, and I can just see Liereyy just even going forward with the Siege Workshop and just wanting to put the nail in this coffin.
Yeah, considering how Hera is playing now as well, with everything being super open, right? The forward gold, he's doing a market there as well. He's not going to have numbers to defend, and I'm worried that he might even sell his stone here to try and get Castle Age faster. I feel like Hera will probably transition to full Eagles. I feel like he feels like he has to do some all-in shenanigans. So I don't think he will commit too heavily on archers and rather transition to something more risky, high risk, high reward, right? But either way, I have a hard time seeing how he's even going to survive the early cast Leisure Liereyy here.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't hate going for like the high risk, high reward play, and indeed you are right, selling the stone, getting as quick a cast age time as he can. And like this might seem okay, but this is a lot of resources invested into getting a castle age early when you're not getting a military. Whereas Liereyy, because he was so far ahead with the lame and then causing all the idle time, he gets to have his cake and eat it too, getting an even faster castle age time, and he's also going to be building up a considerable amount of military even faster.
Yeah, what's good for Hera though is that his uptime isn't that far behind, and Liereyy is choosing a very safe approach here. Liereyy is like, at this point, this is not... I think Liereyy, when he was, like, say, 1 or 2 years ago, I think he would have already been going forward with those four archers. But I think he has started taking a more conservative approach in terms of how to play the game. Like that.
Well, you know, wisdom does come with age, and you know, now
true.
that Lierey's now 16, he's a wise old man. But I do think that we saw in KOTD 3 the most reserved I've ever seen Liereyy play, and obviously it did work out to his benefit, you know, with him winning the whole tournament and everything. So I think in this particular instance it might be a little bit better for Hera, but I still feel like the hammer is about to come down.
Yeah, potentially. But the thing here is, like, we see everything out of this. It's easy for us. If Liereyy was already at Hera's base, Hera is dead. But Liereyy obviously doesn't know that. So now Hera will hit Castle Age as Liereyy comes into his base. The question is just, can he buy enough time? I'm actually surprised Hera hasn't already fallen back to his main gold and walled in the rest of his base, because then he would actually have had a big chance of surviving. But now it's going to be really tough, as Liereyy, people know he's a fairly decent micro player, so this might be a pickle. Although he hasn't done Balkan Arrow, so there's still a chance for Hera to survive this.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yes. As Liereyy goes back again.
This is really weird. I'm amazed that one, Hera didn't go back to the other gold like you're saying, but also that he didn't even, I guess, try and buy a tower or anything like that. Obviously, he sold the stone, so he couldn't afford it normally. So, okay, now he's going to the back gold, getting a university for some ballistics. And now things are transitioning.
Yeah, I think Hera simply knew that, okay, well, I need to take risks. I need to be greedy. Either I lose now, or I have a chance to play a longer game and try to win as the game goes on. And fortunately for him, Liereyy did go back, and Hera, it looks weird. He has a 300 score lead, yet it feels like he should be so far behind. But saying that as well, Lierey's economy isn't that great. He doesn't have a second TC yet. Both of them have universities. It's suddenly looking like a very close game where Hera even has the villager lead. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Actually, I want to check the eco upgrades real quick. Okay, so Liereyy did get his eco upgrades. Sometimes if you're going for the straight FC, you might skip on those for a little bit. But okay, Liereyy did get all that good stuff. And now I guess the question is, what are you going to do, Liereyy? He's wandering his crossbowman into the black area, trying to explore lands unknown.
Yeah, he doesn't see anything from here now, so he's just playing safe, right? That's the area where he's probably the most exposed at the moment, bar the bottom left side. But if Hera starts attacking on the left side, he would have time to run his army there. So they're playing super safe, which is probably the right thing to do considering. But Hera seems to be going full 1 TC player. Even made a second mining camp on the main gold, and would not surprise me if we see a forward villager in siege. I like how Hera spread out this eagle on the right side and a crossbow on the left side, just to have some vision in case Liereyy comes in with his army.
Yeah, that's honestly really pretty. But now it is going to be coming down to micro. Both players are grabbing ballistics. Slight numbers advantage here for Liereyy, as well as the +1 defense. But Hera does have the high ground.
Hera has ballistics. Liereyy hasn't kicked in yet, but it's about to kick in. So Hera with the number disadvantage might want to get out of there. He did get fairly equal trade. He does have the hill. So all in all, this looks pretty solid for... Who does it look solid for? I think it's very equal trade.
I think it's a pretty equal trade. A little bit of micro nerd dancing going on as the crossbowmen have their lovely ballroom dance with each other.
Very nice micro by Hera there. Very, very nice. He's actually out microing Liereyy quite heavily here. He does have the hill, but yeah, seeing Liereyy out microed like that is very, very rare. So it was really cool to watch.
Oh yeah, do you think Liereyy even over microed that a little bit?
I think Liereyy was just, I think he was just super confident and just let them fight. He didn't do the usual micro shenanigans that he tends to do. Just sort of let them fight. And so
that's...
It's so weird.
That can be quite not so good. So it was 4 kills to 0 deaths for Hera going into that because of the Drush. And on the other side of that, if we take away those 4 kills, you do see Hera with 15 kills to 13 deaths, so getting a little bit of the better edge over Liereyy there.
Hera now has 5 more military, and he has a Mangonel on the way. So it's so weird. Liereyy should have been in such a commanding position, right? And all of a sudden, Hera has 400 more score. Economy looks fairly similar. The pressure is on, and I don't know. It's just very strange. He was laying two sheep and 1 boar. Very impressive,
and
actually.
it's honestly really incredible from Hera that he was able to, I guess, react to it. I mean, even with all of like the quick balls and stuff being kind of not very eco-efficient, he's still able to min-max his economy in such a way that he's actually able to put on pressure to Liereyy right now with this Mangonel here. But Liereyy is getting up a second town center, and these 2 Eagle Warriors are going to be coming in, and they do even have +1 defense already.
See how the Mangonel fights does. So far not shooting, he wants to wait until he has guaranteed damage. So he's quite passive there. Ooh, Liereyy is playing with fire, man. What is this?
No, Lierey's playing with Hera, not fire. He's not playing in this.
Only what did I say? What did I say about Orn the jokes?
I'm sorry, it's too tempting.
Okay. Oh, Mangonel coming in from Liereyy. Good mic. Oh, 1 HP Mangonel. Hera, send a crossbow. Send a crossbow. Oh, nice Mangonel shot on the top. I mean, Liereyy is still fine though, right? He is fine. He's not falling behind significantly. So as long as he doesn't take massive damage, he should start to get a villager lead. But still, I think considering the opening, Liereyy should never have been in this position.
Yeah, that's definitely something that's a pretty crazy, especially since it's a mirror matchup, right? It's not like, oh, you know, Hera Civ has a way better eco bonus.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like it's totally even, so that's pretty incredible. Even +2 defense now coming in. Hera, I mean, he sold the stone initially, so it kind of lends itself to wanting to go for 1 TC play anyway. But yeah, I like this.
I think something as well that is underestimated with getting lamed is that economy management, it becomes like you drop way more farms when you're lamed. And farms is the consistent eco that doesn't change much over time, because they will farm that farm for however many minutes. While if you have a bunch of boars, etc., it might feel natural to put them on other resources, and suddenly your food eco isn't that great after all. So there is a chance that Hera simply just actually got a better economy by being lamed, funnily enough, for like long-term consistency, so to say.
No, I get what you mean, and I think that's even more exacerbated with the power of Aztec farms, so that's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. But we do have 4 Mangonels to 2, so this is still going to be a really tricky hold here as Hera almost clips a Mangonel of Liereyy.
What, the villagers survived as well?
That's crazy, man.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be very micro-intensive. We had a couple of Mangonel micros in our second game of our set as well, so he's warmed up for this.
Yeah, that's true. Something also actually I think is very relevant is Hera is doing a good job just killing all the production buildings of his opponent.
Indeed.
And you've been playing some AoE 3, so no, just kill the production buildings, man.
Ooh. Houses is AoE 3.
Yeah.
They did take a 1-for-1 Mangonel tree on the top, but still, pressure is on. As Liereyy is trying to switch into Eagles, the issue is that he doesn't really have the numbers yet. And I mean, when there are 4 Mangonels on the map, like if you run in with Eagles, it really doesn't feel like you accomplish much, because the Mangonels with some good target fire suddenly kill off half your Eagle army, and then if there's 20 crossbows behind that, it becomes even worse. So Hera honestly looking in a fantastic position all of a sudden, unless he kills all his own crossbow with Mangonels.
That would be a bit unfortunate. Was casting the Masters of the Circus finals yesterday. And I think it was Skogo killing like, I think 80 of his own units over the course of the game. Wow. Oh, there's a nice one for O.
Oh, we might get another one. Oh, very close indeed. Good shot by Hera there. They're just trading quite equal with Mangonel. Slightly favorable for Hera, but like even though Liereyy has had the extra town center, if you look at his economy, he's just 3 villages ahead. And if you look at the top side, the wood line is about to run out. So he's almost like his wood income is gonna be very ugly very soon.
Yeah, and you know, if you're in a situation where you're taking even Mangonel trades, that's obviously going to favor the guy who has more Mangonels, and that is certainly in this case Hera. Nice job splitting his Mangonels at the last moment, but that is still going to be a 1-for-1. At least he didn't lose any crossbowmen in the process. But this is still really tough for Liereyy. He's just trying to buy time until Squires comes in. He already has Eagle Warrior and +2, but this is getting pretty rough. Yeah.
Ooh, great Mangonel shot again. If he takes out the Seedbrook shop, again, considering Lierey's eco situation right now, even losing a Seedbrook shop is very painful because he cannot afford to replenish that. Now dropping a mining camp and trying to take more stone as his eagles are circling around. The eagle numbers are getting scary, but again, there's still 26 crossbows and continuous stream of 2 and 2 crossbows and 5 mangonels right now. And there's no way for Liereyy to contest those with other mangonels. It's this aggression has been actually really sick, really well done by Hera.
Yeah, and you don't normally think of Hera as someone who really like prefers like a 1TC full aggro style like this. Usually think of him being a bit more reserved, I guess, but
yeah.
no, this is really, really well done.
Oh,
and
here we go, the big fight.
Eagles.
Oh, the mangonel shots are coming in. Ooh, okay, that was a good shot. Actually, I think Liereyy might clean this up if the numbers keep streaming in, because all the mangonels are gone, and there's about equal number of eagles and crossbows almost now, so Liereyy is actually going to hold.
That's pretty sick. Ooh, even bringing the eagles around just so he ensures that he does get this around, and Hera, it's like he his crossbow into the chicken feed man to the chicken soup men.
Yeah,
gobble,
question.
Gobble, gobble.
Hera is now suddenly in a really. I feel like Hera. I don't know. He probably got caught off guard. Well, not caught off guard, but he got caught in bad timing with the eagles popping out, and I think he probably panicked a little bit as well. If his micro was as solid as it was early in the game, I think he would have killed and gotten way more better shots. But suddenly Liereyy has stabilized. Economies are quite similar, but I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that Hera is still committing on mass crossbows. He's even still producing from the archery range that is forward. Like, Liereyy could just jump on what's in front of him here and actually completely clean up that. Behind this, Hera did add another TC and a third one on the way as well, so it's gonna actually transition into a normal mid-game for Aztecs, which is quite weird considering what's happened so far.
So that definitely seems much more reminiscent of Hera, but I wanted to ask you, so at the point when Hera realized that Liereyy was going for Eagle Warriors, do you think he should have tried to start switching into Swordsman?
It depends on, I didn't check when he added his second town center, but like if you look at his queue now, he has 12 villages queued, so he's definitely had some food in the bank. So there is a chance that long swords could have been an option, but maybe even just mixing in like 10 eagles of his own could have been a good decision here. Yeah, Hera is still in a fine position, right? He has equal lead now, he has enough crossbows to run around and defend his base, but the pressure is definitely done. The issue for Liereyy here, for Hera, is that transitionally, you want to transition to eagles as the game goes on, and Liereyy already has that transition now.
Yeah, he already has the infrastructure for it in terms of barracks. He has the upgrades in that he would need. Hera with some nice market walls.
Oof, this is gonna be a clutch one.
Oh, there's a hole.
Still open.
Never mind.
Okay, crossbows are coming in, so nice. It's still a gap between the houses of Hera there. He is plugging the gap though. Yep, nice hold from Hera. But he is getting cleaned up on the front as the eagles come streaming in on top of the crossbows. It could be real nice mangonel shots here. Ooh, this is gonna be important for Hera. Ooh, nice shot. He probably wants to get a second one as well. Ooh. Nice dodge.
Danger close.
Liereyy there. Liereyy went to the left corner to try and find some resources to take. There was none. So
there's a lion and a relic.
Awkward. Yeah, Liereyy has to move to the front goal. So to be fair, if Hera actually kept the pressure on and was able to deny him for a little bit further, suddenly Liereyy would have been completely out of gold as well. So the timing for Liereyy actually was really spot on there in terms of when he had to break out. Hera on the way to him.
Wow, that's actually really sick considering how much pressure Hera's been putting on. Actually clicking up at this moment feels pretty good. Lierey's not going to be too far behind, though. It's just missing a little bit of gold income, but still, Hera might be able to try and make some sort of Arbalest timing work, although with the defensive castle coming in for Liereyy, Hera's either going to need to find a good angle or get a castle up of his own.
Yeah. My concern now for Hera at the moment is how open he is, right? Just 10 eagles to the right side of his base, and there's, what, 40 villagers idle all of a sudden. And Hera is still committing on crossbow. He's running into the castle now, and he's probably going to be looking to make Arbalest, right? But Liereyy has counter units. Arbalest will not do good as we hit Imperial Age upgrades.
No, like, just even with +4 defense coming in, those Arbs are just going to be so ineffective. And Eagles, not at all hard to produce at this point for Aztecs. And yeah, I mean, Hera just can't make an army that fundamentally is bad against his opponent's army and expect to win with it.
Yeah. I mean, it worked for the amount of pressure he wanted to put on in Castle Age, but at this point he has to make a transition, but I don't see that transition happening. Like, there's a very popular, at least back in the days when we played a ton of Aztec Wars, we used to play Arbalest Jaguar Warriors in Imperial Age. That could be an option here, like Jaguar Arbalest, but there's only one castle up, the economy doesn't look setup for it, and yeah, I don't see any transition towards barracks units at all from Hera, so I'm quite confused right now. It's not producing at all, actually.
That's no, just making some villagers. As Iron Casting and a ton of eagles and villagers come in here for Liereyy. He's actually on 4 TCs.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's going to be quite nice for him going forward. Hera does have double the army numerically, but just with all those crossbowmen being so sluggish all the way back in his base, it's going to be, you know, by the time the crossbowmen get to the front, Lierey's already going to be an Imperial Age.
Yeah, the mobility is definitely heavily in favor of Liereyy here, as Hera will just be running around chasing. You can see he goes to Arbalest, Bracer, Chemistry right away. One Trebuchet as well coming in, going straight for the castle, second Treb as well, but yeah, he doesn't have the army there to defend it, right? Once the Elite Eagle is in, he needs to have army next to the Trebs, and they're... I mean, he could do actually a nice wall in front of the Zero Shop to secure the Treb, but yeah, look at the right side now, villagers running for their lives.
They are running, but the Eagle Warriors, they didn't skip leg day, and they happened to run a lot faster. And even Elite Eagle Warrior being able to be afforded for Liereyy right away, that is, you know, it's a pretty expensive upgrade, and it's a pretty huge deal that he's able to get it, and they can just run in so easily and just snipe that Trebuchet.
Indeed. Hera is trying to make some Jaguar Warriors. I like it. If he takes out the castle, then it could be good, but again, I feel like he's just going to be overwhelmed by the mobility of Liereyy. Liereyy can run around and raid him all over the place. He's missing the last armor upgrade though, so the Arbalest can probably clean this up quite nicely. But it's the long-term issues here. If he gets like suddenly 15 Jaguars on the map, then he can probably make a really strong push towards the golds of Liereyy. So that's something he could go for, as Hera is the one who starts taking up relics as well, which relics very important in an Aztec's war. But you can see now the village difference. It's the raids, the mobility of the eagles. Hera is struggling to deal with that.
Yeah, the raids, it's the difference plus the 30 idle villagers, and now I get to make my my apparently weekly preach about how Jaguar Warriors should train faster, because they are the slowest training infantry unique unit by a lot, and especially in your... Yeah, like, they train almost as slowly as Mangudai.
Wow.
For, like, no reason. Probably because, like, the ensemble people back in the day thought that, okay, Aztecs had the faster creating units, and they didn't want Jags just to be flying out. But especially, like, if you're using them to counter Eagles, it can be too slow.
Nice. Liereyy left an Eagle on the relic on the top, so he did snipe that. But yeah, the economy of Hera... Like, he has those 20 Arbalests on the right side, but it takes forever to clean up his Eagles, and he's losing so many villas in the process. There's a 20 villager difference now. What Hera has going for him, though, is the push towards through the center. He does have some Jaguars. Honestly, at this point, I would just send those Jaguars to defend my base and try to make more Jaguars to defend the Trebs, because he's simply just losing too much economy to these raids at the moment.
Yeah, this is where just the mobility of these Eagle Warriors is reigning supreme, catching some of these Arbalests out in the middle of nowhere. The villagers being somewhat of a meat shield, but I mean, a whopping 2 damage per arrow to these Eagle Warriors. They don't even have Thumb Ring to help them out with the attack rate.
Well, he is cleaning them up, and he is still moving, sending some 3 Jaguars to raid vills on the front now, but Hera does have his own castle on the hill, collecting relics as well. And yeah, it's just... How does Hera hold? Or how does he ever start making moves himself, rather than just reacting?
Yeah,
Castle from Liereyy on the top side as well. Fantastic castle. Got the gold, got the hill, controls the woodlines and the sides. Just...
Yeah. Really nice spot there. It's also a great just launching pad for any future raiding, as it just goes right into all of this eco of Hera's. But it feels weird to say that, like, oh, how is Hera going to hold? How is he going to do anything when it's 49 military to 18 in favor of Hera? But it really just does come down to this mobility and the fact that Hera is just, well, he's super open, and it's so hard for him to actually ever do anything with his army.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it, he still has a 500 score lead. I don't like, if you look at the Monastery of Hera, that's probably not where you want to keep your relics as well. That's probably not going to last very long. But I mean, Hera's still holding on. His villager count is rising again. So if he can keep the position, and probably would like to secure his relics, yeah, as long as he, like, yes, the mobility of Liereyy is killing a lot of vills, but he is using a lot of gold in that, and he's never building up a real army until now. So yeah, there could be a point where Hera simply just has enough units to hold, and then can start mobilizing and suddenly using 30-40 units to attack. As he should probably run his... Oh, his trebuchet is exposed in the middle on the Oasis. If I was playing, I would probably have a Doctor and fishing traps.
Well, we can't all be as masterpiece as the Snack Man,
Indeed.
but Jaguar Warriors, I mean, they are starting to build in number, and once Hera gets the second castle up, one, it's going to really help him out defensively, and two, it's just another factory to be making Jaguar Warriors.
Yes, I mean, so looking at it, Hera has a massive military lead. He has 5 Jaguars on the front, 5 Jaguars on the right side to stop raids. He has the 30-40 Arbalists on the bottom side. Suddenly it looks like there is nowhere where Liereyy can actually do damage. And this is the point where suddenly Hera maybe starts to build towards something. The castle is being pressured on the left side. His population is looking way more healthy than Liereyy. The villager count suddenly looks very healthy. The castle on the right side as well.
Don't need a huge eco. I mean, if you're north of 100 villagers, you're probably at least doing okay, especially if you're taking good trades like Hera is. And if you can just get this more slow push rolling with the Arbalests supported by the Jaguar Warriors, I mean, that just kills pretty much anything Aztecs do, which is why it's sort of their ultimate army comp in the mirror.
I am very confused why Liereyy has been so stubborn on Eagles. Like, look now, both his gold mines on the front has run out. He's pretty much relying on the gold on the top side. That's all his gold income. He's been so stubborn on the Eagles and not making any changes. He's adding 2 more barracks. I'm not sure where he's expecting to have resources to produce from those. Like, for him, perfect decision now would be at lateral skirms, right? Get out 30-40 at lateral skirms. You can start trading and take it from there, but Hera is gonna find the bottom gold now as well, so that's very nice for Hera. But yeah, what's Liereyy actually gonna make here? I'm struggling to see what he's doing all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like now the question earlier was like, okay, how is Hera ever going to do anything? But now the question becomes, okay, how does Liereyy actually plan on winning the game?
Yeah.
Because sure, you can harass your opponent, you know, for as long as you like, but eventually Hera's going to stabilize. And, well, these Jags are looking pretty scary. Honestly, at lateral skirms would be super sick. I mean, without the elite upgrade, Jaguar Warriors only have 50 HP, which is pretty sad. So, you know, the skirms can chunk them down pretty quick. But right now, like, the Eagles are just running into a brick wall of obsidian Makana.
Indeed, he's getting some nice raids though. Hera is being pushed down towards the 100 villager count again, but Hera is making moves on the left side. He's pushing towards Lierey's monastery. Like, I'm so confused about Hera's monastery, right? It's in the middle of the map. It's so exposed, but for some reason Liereyy hasn't really noticed either. As Liereyy, like, the farming eco for Liereyy on the bottom side, I guess he sent all the villas to the gold mine on the bottom. I'm not sure how I feel about that castle actually, because it only protects the gold. As the game goes on, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose unless he starts farming there. But Hera is finally starting to use his Arbalest forward as well. So this game is suddenly looking fantastic for our Canadian Wonder Kid.
Oh yeah, go North America! But another castle coming in here for Liereyy defensively, but... Well, I feel like Lierey's situation in this game can be summed up by those 4 hunters on the hill to the north of his base that are just standing around, not too sure what to do.
Yeah, indeed. This has been a really interesting game actually, how much it has like turned. In early imp it looked fantastic for Liereyy, and then Hera managed to hold on, and suddenly it looked fantastic for Hera again. But yeah, I feel like Liereyy just was too stubborn. You know what? I actually think the score also played into how Liereyy played this. Because he viewed the score, Hera was always ahead. He probably thought Hera's eco etc. was better than his, so he thought he had to do something. And that's why I think he might have stuck with the raids rather than switching to an armor composition.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I guess it depends on how much stock you put into the score. But Liereyy does have fully upgraded at lateral skirmishers, but it just is too little too late. I mean, Hera literally has a 3-to-1 army advantage.
Yeah, Hera doing Elite Jaguar Warrior now as well, and honestly what the economy has now, the gold he has in the bottom, he still has 1,000 gold from his main gold left to mine as well. So he could even make, if Hera just switches into Eagles now, Liereyy has nothing to counter it. He also needs to pick up the 2 relics on the left side, and then suddenly Hera has a 4-to-1 relic advantage as well.
Still got 20 villagers on gold as well, which is pretty nice. On top of just having the relics for longer, now Elite Jaguar Warrior is in, and they're going to be doing so much better against these skirmishers, just in that they have 50% more HP, which is a pretty crazy boost. So yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's going to take a lot longer for these skirms to chunk them down.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, Lierey's army now, if he gets 30-40 skirms, he will trade effectively against what Hera has. Because he can always micro back and forth to castles and utilize that range that he has with the Atlatl skirms. But this is where you can also question, or just like ask Hera to switch his tech again, and suddenly he can trade very fine against that as well. But Liereyy is actually making a push on the top side as well. Hera has a massive army on the bottom left, right? But he's now being pushed back by the Atlatl skirms, and he doesn't have tools to answer to the top side. This game, Liereyy is suddenly maxed out. Hera is falling back. He did grab one relic though, so that's still a victory for Hera. But
yeah, there was the heist of the century going on right there. I do think the pikeman play is interesting because someone might be asking, why on earth would you ever make pikemen against Aztecs? But I mean, he's just looking for something cheap to just throw at his opponent that does melee damage.
Yeah,
and I think that's honestly what he needs. And not against the Jaguars.
Yeah, he needs meat shield, and like Liereyy needs to outlast Hera's gold army right now. He did actually use 4 traps, he did snipe the castle, so suddenly the right side of Hera looks very exposed to raids again. But this is such a... What is this game? So
I always
weird.
feel like Aztec mirrors are just like, you know, it's like a knife fight. It's just like, they're just constantly, you know, stabbing each other, like completely ruining their economy, completely trashing their armies, but it just kind of ends up going back and forth like this, and, well, the great javelin face-off is going on, but it seems like maybe Liereyy has a bit of advantage there, and even getting murder holes.
Oh boy. Well, that's because he's on the top side. His castle is being attacked by about 15 Jaguar warriors, and he's also... He lost 1 trap, 2 traps, he might lose a 3rd one as well, but the last one should survive. But this is... Once murder holes in, all these Jaguars should fall, so there should be a very costly trade-off for Hera there. He did win the fight in the bottom though, and... Economy, I mean, if you look at the economy as well, still a 20 village lead for Hera, for Liereyy, so Liereyy can definitely produce units, no question about that. Orlu, do you think this game will come down to wood control?
That I don't think. But as I say that, Hera with a really nice castle forward here. One, it's going to help him secure that last relic. And I think, honestly, the relic control might come into effect before wood control does, especially just with Aztec gold units being so superior to their trash units. And if Hera can find a way to switch over into Eagle Warriors, that would really just clock Liereyy out of the game.
That is true, but where is Hera keeping his very, very super important relics? In the middle of the map under Lierey's castle. So yeah, sure, he's
at the Holy Pilgrimage site. You know, you don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, it's like he's gonna grab the 4th relic as well. So I don't see Liereyy ever taking those, but still, it's such a weird place to keep like the most important part of your economy at this point.
Yeah, that is rather strange. Hera doing a nice job, by the way, of keeping the skirmishers, the trash unit forward, while keeping the gold-intensive arbalests back. Liereyy trying to do some fancy footwork with those pikemen, but they are all going to end up dying eventually. And the populations are still pretty even. Yeah,
Liereyy still is bolstering with a little bit of better economy, but Hera seems to have the better composition with the Jaguars, with the Arbalest behind, and then the mass Atlatl skirms in front. As long as he keeps these 20 Arbalest alive, they're always going to trade better against anything Liereyy has.
Yeah, especially if you can get your own skirmishers as a meat shield, because Aztecs missed the last armor upgrade, you're still dealing a decent amount of damage to the skirmishers with your Arbalests, so that's always going to be pretty nice. One big difference is that there's only Iron Casting in for Hera for his melee units, whereas Liereyy does have full Blast Furnace plus Garland Wars. But, I mean, the thing is, Lierey's melee units consist of primarily pikemen at this point, which is potentially problematic.
True. Lierey's population suddenly not looking too healthy. He's doing siege ram at the moment, so he's actually preparing a ram push. But I'm not sure where he's intending to do that. His production is lacking.
He's finally going for the monastery.
Oh, I mean, he has his own monastery right above it. He's making a monk as well. So if he manages to grab 2 or 3 of those relics, then suddenly this is a game again.
Yeah, certainly. Their gold is going to run out eventually here for Hera. But those military numbers are looking mighty scary, and I'm just not too sure. Well, I guess if you can get enough siege rams out, I mean, it's mostly pierce damage coming in, so maybe they can at least stall this push?
Indeed, and the monastery of Hera is down, and the monk is running in. The heist is happening. And there comes the siege ram as well. Suddenly, this game is so back and forth, man. Still looks good for Hera, but there's the first relic. Hera sends a monk as well to try and grab it. Oh, there is microing the monk.
Oh my!
Oh.
Insert the Mission Impossible theme. Yeah, the monk will be sniped though for Liereyy. Hera with a bunch of skirmishers there knows that the relics are just such an important resource to have control over at this moment. But in doing so, having to pull some military back is going to buy Liereyy a little bit of time. But he's still struggling to maintain his opponent's military numbers.
I mean, Lierey's gonna max out again for sure. They both have a decent economy behind this. They're both gonna be able to max out on at least at Battle Skirms. Liereyy again obviously has the Hera has the 15 Arbalest and the 12 Jaguar Warriors, definitely very helpful for his composition as he's now switching his focus towards the right side to try and take the castle of the hill there. They both have really nice castle placements in general. Hera on the bottom side, Liereyy on the top side.
Yeah, you can see that we're kind of going into like a yin-yang shape as we have Liereyy kind of stretching to the top and to the right eventually that way, and then Hera doing the reverse at the bottom left.
Yeah.
But it's gonna make it kind of hard to push into each other. I mean, Aztecs have awful defenses, so I mean that kind of helps a little bit, as the castles are very, very weak. And now that Siege Engineers is actually in here for Hera, he's gonna actually be taking down, as one of my mods calls them, the gingerbread castles, and that could be a big win here for Hera.
Indeed, no villagers in sight as well that can repair that. So when that castle goes down as well, it also gives suddenly Hera the chance to take the relics from Liereyy again, because they are not far from that hill either. Honestly, if I was Hera, I would probably even buy the stone required to build my own castle on that hill, because that would give you so much control of the wood in the area. Just like, because Liereyy has so many villas on the top side as well, chopping wood. So if Hera can actually get some raids in there, he'll be looking in an even better position than he already is.
Yeah, there's actually get 43 gold for selling 100 wood, so Hera actually has totally the eco to make that happen, and that would, I think, really sort of force Liereyy out of this game, because Hera really doesn't look like he is going to be stopped anytime soon. It's just the military discrepancies are too much in his favor. He's still plus 100 or so in the KD.
80 military to 20. That's never a good sign to be on the 20. And the score is now starting to tell its tale as well. Suddenly there's a 2,000 score difference, while it's been staying within 1,000 for the longest time. Yeah.
Yep, there goes the monastery, going to be popped by these trebuchets. And remember when this game started with Hera losing a boar and 2 sheep, and then having a bunch of not very good quick walls?
Yeah, I did think this game would be like a quick one, like a 19-20 minute game. But Liereyy played passive. He didn't take the full advantage of the aggressive possibilities he had with all the laming that occurred. And Hera he took a big risk in the way he played, but it certainly paid off. So,
And I think that he definitely needed to take a risk, otherwise he would have just stayed far behind. I honestly think that's like really holds back MBL, is that I feel like he just never takes any risks, and if he falls behind can just never catch up. But that's what you got to do. If you're in a game that is obviously this high level, you gotta make the big plays, and if your opponent just makes even the smallest amount of mistake, you can use it to catch up and take the lead.
Indeed, Hera's economy looking super solid as well. He's floating every resource at this point, while Liereyy only floating food right now, and the only thing Liereyy can make is pretty much pikemen and skirms. And now that Hera he's going to have 5 relics, I think it's time for Liereyy to throw in the white flag or the towel, or whatever you want to say.
Or the French flag.
Or the French flag, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it just really isn't a whole lot left here for Liereyy. Yeah, now actually we might even be getting... No. Liereyy still technically is a little bit... But
Liereyy is
super,
out of the game.
Super GG.
Indeed. You can't blame him for playing on. He still has 130 villagers and like a really healthy pop still, so... It wasn't like super obvious that he should resign, but considering how the game is playing out now, 5 relic advantage with Aztecs, definitely in favor.
And Aztec mirrors are not ones that you expect to go to an hour and 10 minutes, but yeah, that was a really, really nice game number 1 between these two.
Mm-hmm. For sure. After the opening, like we thought it would be a really fast game, but it was.
And Liereyy even had more of every resource collected.
Yeah, but he didn't trade effectively, right? Look at the KD.
Yeah, just never able to turn that into like good military numbers.
Yeah. I still think Liereyy was in a real good position. He just was too stubborn on the eagle raids. Hera did, to be fair. I always say to be fair a lot. But to be fair, The way Hera defended those raids was actually spot on. He invested like 20 Arbalists on the bottom, 15 Arbalists on the right side, and then started mixing in some Jaguars there as well as he got the numbers out. And I think the way he defended that was actually perfect. I think a lot of people would have died instantly to the raids of Liereyy, but Hera did a masterful job of defending with exactly the amount of army that he needed.
And that especially with like no real walls or towers or anything like that, that is a very tricky balance to pull off. And just looking at the timeline, you can see like after the big Castle Age fight, like late Castle Age into early Imperial Age, Liereyy just never was able to actually start building up that army like you were talking about, and Hera just, whooshing up there and getting to 200 pop away faster.
Yeah, the timeline looks amazing.
There's like the green blob and the blue blob.
Yeah, a lot of blobs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna shout out a couple of people that has been supporting the channel, so I will mute myself for a few seconds.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll be right back.
All right, then I won't mute, so you'll have to listen. That's all good. Chris, thank you for the 8 months. Volley Bourret, thank you for the 4. Colas AOC, thanks for 22. Blade Peck with 11 months. The Lazy ZZ with the 2 months. Hello there. Did you get another little doggo? We had to give the little doggo away, unfortunately, because she was making too many issues with Justus. She was humping him non-stop, and Justus was getting very stressed, and it was quite miserable for him. So unfortunately, we gave it a couple of days of try to see if we could make her stop, but she just wouldn't stop. So we had to pass her on to another foster home. Unfortunately, she's a good dog. She will find a family soon. Grill Salad, thanks for 20 months. Loki AoE, thank you for the Prime. Joe 94, thank you for the 14. Emba with the 3 months. Spray with 64 with the 2 years of support. Thank you very much. And Instincts coming in with another 10 gift subs to the channel. Instincts. How many gift subs have you even gifted to the channel now, Instincts? Is there a way that I can see that? I think you're going ham, dude. Thank you so much, Instincts. Insane. So now we can speculate in the home map of Liereyy here. Islands. Oof. Wait, what? Liereyy picking islands against Hera. I think Hera is a very good islands player. Probably among my top 5 islands players based on history. So it's very surprising to me that Liereyy picks islands against him. 85 gift subs just this week. Instincts. Thank you so much, dude. What are the best water civs? Vikings, Italians, Portuguese, Malay, Japanese. 225 overall, dude. Instincts. Thank you so much, dude. Jonah, thanks for gifting a sub. Alchemet, thank you for the Prime as well. Is Ornley back yet? No sign of the wolf. Yeah, I'm still surprised about the Homa pick. I did not expect islands to be picked by Liereyy. Guess he just feels comfortable with his micro. I wonder if there's going to be a mirror here. If we'll have Italians war or Vikings war or Vikings Italians. A lot of options here. Can you remove the Game Legion logo? I cannot. Why? Do somewhere else. Why? Blocks info on screen. You mean in here? Ah! Wow, how I have left that? Oh my god. While casting, obviously it blocks info. Sorry guys, I'm really sorry about that. My bad. Makes a lot of sense. I'm really sorry about that, guys. Okay, I think they have started the game.
Perfect timing.
They have not started the game. Debated.
Not perfect timing.
Maybe Hera has... No, it doesn't make sense. Okay, they're still in the game. So what do you think? Lyra's picking islands as his home map. What do you think about that?
Interesting. Lierey's someone, it's like, actually kind of both Liereyy and Hera, like they're both like the Arabian nerds for the longest time, but then like once they actually had to start playing water maps for tournaments, they both got really good at them, but Liereyy clearly thinks that he'd have the edge, and maybe just for fire, he should get a Viking war.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing for them it's more about finding what the other is worst at rather than what they are best at, because they're so similar in many ways.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I personally I think Hera is one of the best water map players out there, like pure water, when it's just about micro, macro, galleys, micro, etc. So I am surprised that Liereyy picks a water map against him. You saw, if you were at NAC, you know.
Remember, we spent like 9 days together, you know?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
were there. You saw how Hera was winning a lot of the water maps.
And we
So
were actually seeing Hera win them in like these specific matchup because we got the classic here from NAC3. We're going to party like it's January before COVID when I was allowed in Europe. Got Liereyy as the Italians and Hera's the Vikings.
indeed, I'm happy we have a non-mirror match, though. To be fair. To be fair.
Yeah.
To be fair. To be fair. To be fair. To be
As opposed to
fair.
being unfair.
Exactly. So yeah, Italians for Liereyy and Vikings for Hera. Oh, lululul. What do you think is the best map, Civ for the islands, and why?
I think it just depends on how you, it depends. The,
Oh,
the the good friend
fantastic
to be
answer.
fair.
Fantastic
Um,
answer. I love it.
uh, it's Italians are going to be a bit more aggressive. I think they're going to be a bit more like if you really want to play like a super like mechanical, like okay, I just want to play like as safe as possible. I think Italians are going to be your best bet, and I'd say Vikings are a little bit more high risk, high reward. Like you could potentially be caught off guard early, but if you can get up to like good galley numbers in the longboats, then you're going to be having a great time.
But what if you want to go for longboats? Do you fast castle or do you go feudal galleys into longboats?
I think maybe it depends a little bit on what you think your
Depends.
opponent's
I
going to
love
be
it.
doing. Oh my
Yeah, go
god.
on. Sorry.
It depends on what your opponent is likely to be doing, what their civ is. I mean, Italians are so flexible that it's kind of I think it would be kind of hard to read because Italians actually themselves can go for a fast castle pretty comfortably with their cheaper age up and cheaper dock techs. It can be really really nice. But yeah, I think there's actually going to be a fair amount of mind games here because like obviously if you can get the fast castle longboats off, like that's just sick, and you're just zooming your way to victory. But it can be a little risky.
Longboats are more expensive on gold though than normal galleons or galleys. As we see Hera going for a back dock actually. A little bit surprised about that. Liereyy is not really shown where he wants to dock yet himself, but he has a villager heading towards the back as well. So, I mean, the thing that is nice with Italians is that even if okay, Hera is going for the Hera is going for the front dock. Sorry, my bad. Liereyy is going for the back dock. Makes a lot of sense. But the nice thing about Italians is that even if you go fast to feudal age and you realize your opponent is going fast castle, it's super easy to transition into a fast castle build yourself, even with having a super fast feudal age. Because the up is cheaper, right? 50%, 15% cheaper to advance to feudal age and castle age. And then from that point, you have just really nice, smooth play with cheaper fishing ships and everything. So Italians, very, very solid pick for islands.
Italians are just the discount civ. All of their bonuses are discounts except for getting condos as a team bonus. Cheaper gunpowder, cheaper Egypt, cheaper fishing ships, cheaper dock tax.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I totally agree. That's why like I say Italians are like the safe civ because you can really do anything with them and sort of mold your game plan to what you think your opponent's going to be doing. Though it is kind of weird because you'd think that Vikings, as the civ without fire galleys, would want to be playing the more defensive style with the back dock, but we're seeing the literal inverse of that.
Yeah, I don't think Hera is a longboats player. I think Hera is a fast feudal galleys into castle age and play full galleys, and then maybe longboats as the game goes on if there's a lot of fires. But I think Hera is just pure galley, pure war galley, and taking it from there.
I don't
Liereyy
think.
is sorry.
I was saying, you don't think Hera's a longbow player. I remember very specifically having to explain to him at NAC why longboats were good. He thought you just never made them.
They are good. They will never be bad, of course, but they are good against if there's fire ships involved. I still think just going pure galley it will still be a better option for Vikings, especially because the gold cost is cheaper. But Liereyy is the one who's looking to fast castle. He has 7 of wood. He's doing a mill already on the berries. Again, he went for the back dock. So I'm curious about this. As Hera is doing loom, I assume he will click up to feudal age as soon as that is done. Very quick feudal age time for him. While Liereyy is trying to do a super fast castle, and with Italians, you can even do 13-minute, 14-minute castle ages on islands. So question mark is how fast will this be for Liereyy, and what will he go for?
Yeah, I think well, yeah, it can be really fast, like you're saying, but I think it's going to be really interesting to see what he's going to go for, because you can go for the more traditional, war galley centric approach, but with Italians, and especially getting like the cheap careening, if you're going for fire ships, it can be really, really good against any sort of galley based play.
Yeah.
And if you think that that's the sort of thing that Hera is likely to go for, I think just going for like fire ships and then getting like a quick careening upgrade, like those galleys are just going to tickle the fire ships.
Indeed. Although I think when one realizes that the other guy is going castle age, I think you won't be more than 2 minutes, 3 minutes behind at most. So you have a lot of time to micro where you have numbers advantage. But yeah, like we've seen Tato in particular doing these super fast castle age times and just getting those fire ships out there, and it's been super deadly.
Also going to be, I guess, seeing how much is Hera going to be committing to feudal age, because I mean he's going to see that his opponent's going FC really quickly. So is he actually going to be trying to put on like pressure and like make sure he can try and get his opponent's fishing ships, or is he just going to be making a few galleys and then just trying to click up as quickly as possible?
I think he's gonna, after this first galley wave, it wouldn't surprise me if he adds 2 fishing ship just to boost his eco a little bit further. No, he's actually queuing up galleys again. I mean, it's still... Look at Lierey's eco, actually. He's 75% feudalation, he has this economy. He could have clicked Castle Age by now. He could have gone up 2 villas earlier and still hit Castle Age at an incredible time. That's just the benefit of being Italians on a water map like this. But Hera did go for only 3 fishing ships, so his economy isn't going to be as great as it could have been. He's only now switching to berries. So Hera's playing typical, pure, straightforward water meta, while Liereyy is the one who is changing things up a little bit. Normally Liereyy was also viewed as one of the like full meta players. He doesn't have Loom, and he's building a market. Ooh, this could be, oh, no fletching, so
yeah, no
reach.
No fletching, no problem. But the galleys are incoming. Liereyy actually going to be splitting up his fishing ships and trying to sail them away from danger. Oh, it's the game of cat and mouse.
I do find the market positioning from Liereyy strange. If Hera has map control, he's going to be able to snipe that market really easily, so it's a bit strange, but yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. So Liereyy is doing the fire ships, 2 fire ships out already, so even now he's going to actually keep his fishing ship alive, so it's looking pretty solid, I must say, for Liereyy already.
Yeah, only lost 1 fishing ship. Was able to escape with the other ones for the time being. He's already 15% of the way up to Castle Age. And looking at Hera's eco, I mean, yeah, he's not getting up to Castle Age anytime soon. Yeah. So the question then becomes, is there a point when you do have enough galleys that you can even start to micro down Castle Age fire ships? I feel like that's going to be really tricky.
It's definitely going to be tricky. I mean, as soon as there's like 4 or 5 fire ships, and especially if it does careening, as you mentioned, you probably need like 20 galleys to actually be able to do something. But even then, I think you just get...
Like, it takes 20 galleys, still 6 volleys to kill a fire ship at that point. Like, they literally deal 1 damage at that point.
Yeah, it's... I'm surprised Hera hasn't added more, like, fishing ships to his own fishing economy. I feel like he's just counting on numbers winning the game. Because, I mean, there's going to be a 14xx feudal age time from Liereyy here. So he's going to have fire ships out at 15 minutes. And Liereyy, Hera at the moment only has 12 galleys, or 11. And that doesn't sound like a lot when you're facing fire ships.
Definitely not. And just to reiterate, the 50% discount on the dock tax is just so huge. Like, you can still get this super fast castle age time, and then from there, easily afford all the upgrades you need. And then... once you win water, then you can, as Italians, go for a super easy fish boom behind it as well. And then maybe even to like a faster Imperial age time. It's just like, it's such a clean civ to play, although canceling the War Galley tech at the weak dock.
Do you think Liereyy is scared of a landing from Hera?
I'm going to go with yes.
Like, he's wall on the whole side, and then he's also open on the wood line on the front, so it wouldn't have helped. But yeah, he's up to castle, he's dropping a TC immediately. Fire ships are out on the map. The War Galley is about to kick in, and the fishing ships of Hera I don't think will survive much longer. Hera's economy is...
misses them.
Yeah. Hera's economy is starting to get there. It's still missing. Oh, he just used the market, sold his stone actually. That's an interesting choice. That also sounds like he's not gonna make extra economy in Castle Age. That's a
No, he
very
just might be
interesting
trying to go like
decision.
really, really aggressive, like try and finish this one, by snowballing numbers super quickly. But I mean, we have triple dock fire ship production, and notably, Liereyy did not lose that the dock that was really low, so he's actually being able to repair that one right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's going to be really, really nice for him, and it should definitely enable him to sort of regain control of water quite quickly.
Indeed, Hera has just clicked up. What I like for Hera now, like in this case, I think Hera should stop galley production and just wait for Castle Age to go longboats. Because he's only facing fire ships at the moment. Hera is queuing up more galleys though, and that's a decision I do disagree with. As he's losing, and Liereyy suddenly looking in firm control of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Larry must agree with us because he's going to be queuing up more fishing ships at this point, and like I was just saying a minute ago, cheaper fishing ships, as well as you can even get a half-cost gill nets. It can be really, really nice in terms of just getting that extra food income boost you need to even go for a quick Imperial Age. And then, like, in early Imperial Age, Italians can just, like, completely reign supreme because you just realize that shipwright only costs 500 food, 150 gold. Just have those fire ships fly out.
Indeed. Hera is adding a fourth dock towards the center where he's not being attacked at the moment. I assume he won't lose any docks, and I mean, he's still going to hit Castle Age and have good numbers of galleys, but he is now being caught with some solid micro dose, so he should be able to micro this down. Question is, how does Liereyy transition from this? Does he commit to more fires, more fishing ship, and just try to get Imperial Age to make fast fires? Maybe even a third town center? Liereyy has like the world at his feet at the moment. He can make any decision he wants to. I wouldn't even mind seeing him switch to war galleys at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally an option, and I think that if you're Liereyy, you might be a little bit concerned about, one, a longboat switch, and longboats can be like a very snowbally unit. So if you're just going full fire ships and then the longboat, the micro starts to come in, and then you just end up losing a lot of your fire ships, that's like a great way to hand Hera back, an entry point into this game.
Mm-hmm.
And indeed, longboats queued up right away, so we'll have to see how Lierey's going to react to this.
Surprised? Hera isn't even doing war galley. Wait, they just produce super fast, the longboats. He didn't even queue up war galleys, so it doesn't even feel like he wants to upgrade his galleys. They're all super low HP though, so I guess you can justify not doing that.
Oh, the trap is coming in. Nice job there from Liereyy, trying to come in from all angles at once. I mean, the galleys are pretty slippery, so they'll be able to escape, at least with some of them intact. But now the micro dance has begun, and I do think that Liereyy is really missing careening at this point.
Yeah, I agree. So Hera bought 200 stone in order to add town centers. So he sold the stone earlier and then had to buy the stone back to add town centers. Well, look at the village count right now. Liereyy is quite far ahead, but there is also more fishing ships out for Liereyy, so he's not as far ahead as it might seem on pure numbers. But my worry for Hera in this case would be that even though he's going to have somewhat map control now with his longboats, I think Liereyy will be able to transition to... Actually, never mind that. Liereyy is committing on war galleys now, so he's not looking to go to Imperial Age. I think for Liereyy here, it would have maybe made sense to go Imperial Age and just go for the fast fires, because they still trade very good against longboats from Castle Age. But I guess as well, if you look at Lierey's base, that town center on the front is very easy to take down for longboats as soon as they get a hold of that.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for Liereyy that both of his golds are pretty close to the shoreline and within range of some war galleys or longboats. But yeah, I think in an ideal world, Liereyy just clicks up to Imperial Age, pretty quickly on 2 TCs, goes for the fast fire ship play, and as the name implies, the fast fire ships are actually able to keep up with the longboats, and it's you really just can't micro like Castle Age longboats against fast fire ships. You'll just get torched.
Yeah, indeed. Village accounts now very similar. Military numbers actually very, very close as well. Liereyy is going to lose 2 fire ships on the right side. I don't think there's ballistics in for either side yet. But Liereyy just looking to build war galley numbers on the left side. He is now stuck on 2 docks only, so I would expect to see more docks added. He goes for another one in the bottom part of the map. Find that a little bit strange, instead of just committing fully on defending the left side where his golds are.
Yeah, and if he was building a dock at the bottom, why not build it more towards the the actual south of the map where there's a little bit more space to fish if that's what you're looking for. Maybe he's afraid that he's falling behind in numbers because he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, just now getting Bodkin, and I feel like uh, Hera is finding a way to climb his way back into the game. Now even getting the villager lead.
Yes, indeed. I mean, he does have the extra town center, so he's doomed to catch up at some point. He's got a healthy-looking farm eco as well now. So I wouldn't, like... Imperial Age is gonna be quite close for, I would say, both players, actually, as they do have the farm eco. It's just idling town centers for a minute, and suddenly you're looking close to click imp if you have the gold. So you have a fight on the top side. The longbows are super easy to micro, though. So Hera's not gonna lose anything there.
Yep, gonna be quite good here for the Viking player. And as it looks like this game will be progressing towards Imperial Age, which civ do you favor here? I mean, Italians have more options, but Vikings have the power of longboats.
I wouldn't even go longbows, I think. I think I would just go galleons if I was Vikings. And that's purely because of gold cost.
Yeah.
Longbows are good for Cast Age, I think. I mean, longboats can also work in Imperial Age, of course. But I feel like they are good in Cast Age. Like, get those 12 longboats just to make sure fires are not a problem. Get map control, and then if Hera goes on to take control of the middle islands, where there's extra gold and stone and another relic, then you can transition to war galleys, and like, then you're suddenly fighting galleon against galleon. Maybe Liereyy mixes in fast fire ships as well, but then you can just mix in some demos. So I would say I favor Vikings heading into Imperial Age.
Yeah, the one concern I have for Vikings is that wood efficiency is going to be a big problem. I mean, you don't get shipwright. I mean, yeah, your warships are, like, you get the overall discount, but it's actually not as much of like a wood discount as you get from shipwright. And because you also don't get the production speed from shipwright, the slower producing galleons might be a little bit of an issue, which is kind of why I still kind of like longboats, because they give you that wood efficiency as well as the production speed that you just kind of miss from being Vikings. But like you're saying, it is pretty expensive on the gold cost, and the elite upgrade is also a bit problematic as well, so it's kind of tricky.
Hera almost ran his 12 longboats into the 22 war galleys of Liereyy there. Liereyy is on the way to Imp. He's doing a transport ship, so I would be expecting some condo shenanigans to happen on the side of Hera's base. Hera is up to Imperial Age as well, very quickly indeed, and he is still committing to the longboats. So we're most likely going to see galleons against longboats here with very similar economies.
Yeah, that does seem to be the case. Kind of interesting how this one has been playing out. Also, Bosaw just now coming in for Hera. That seems like a fairly important upgrade. But nonetheless, Hera's also mining plenty of stone, so maybe he can get a castle up to help defend against the Condottieri. But, I mean, the condos, I mean, if they catch you off guard, they will wreck you.
I feel like the reason Hera is on stone is rather to take control in the middle, right? So there's a big chance he will commit on a landing there, drop the castle, and suddenly there's condos in your base. Now, condos aren't the greatest raiding unit. Their pierce armor isn't great, so having town centers and a fairly thin island means that you can also support your land with water units most of the time. So I don't see condos being the biggest problem for Hera, but you never know. You never know.
Yep.
Fight on the left side.
I would be surprised if... It's always so like hard to tell with water numbers, especially when you're looking at like longboats versus war galleys, because the longboats stack up a lot more. But yeah, the numbers are actually even, and Hera is pretty eager to take this fight, possibly before the upgrades come in.
I'm not sure if I would take this, but if they're about equal in castlage, these units, and
yeah,
Liereyy does have careening, so he has an extra pierce armor. And Hera is about to hit Imperial Age himself, right? So he doesn't have to take the risk and lose his longbows, which are more expensive.
They're also faster, so it's like he really doesn't even... Like, he's really not forced to take a fight right now.
4 villagers, all Vaman, landed on the right side of Hera's base. Is it barracks? It is barracks indeed, so condos will be coming in very shortly.
Well, it makes sense, you know, the nice beachfront property, you want to build some condos.
Indeed.
Gotta get that appreciating real estate value.
Hera goes for the front castle and his base, rather to secure, make sure he has a docking location, because he might lose a couple of docks towards the front. Circling around now to try and come from behind, but elite longboats, chemistry, bracer, everything coming in. Hera's still missing careening though. He hasn't done any of those upgrades. That's probably something he definitely should do. Armor upgrade for infantry coming in as well, so Hera has no clue at all that the landing is happening, and that could be a lot of problems for him.
If Hera still has a scout cavalry alive, which yeah, he still does. Yeah, there's no reason Hera shouldn't be patrolling that scout cavalry on the unexplored side of his island.
Agreed.
I mean, I was playing a game of islands against Dave the other day, and even us plebs were able to be doing that.
Yeah. I mean, the question here though for Liereyy is, okay, you're gonna make condos. Are you gonna get the value of what you're spending? Villager counts on islands aren't too important because you just need like 30, 40, 50 villas to take wood. And that's not a very difficult economy to manage. So say you invest a lot of gold into like 20, 30 condos here, he kills 20 villagers. That's not a problem for Hera. Hera will still be fine. So the issue here I see with this condo investment is I'm not sure if it actually is going to get the value he might be looking for.
Yeah, and of course, condos, I mean, they are mercenaries, right? They are going to be pretty expensive on the gold cost. What I think would be a good idea is, regardless of how many villager snipes you can get, using the condos to possibly distract your opponent and then use that timing to take control of the center island, especially the gold. I mean, that one that helps pay for the condos, and two, it sort of gives you some sort of guaranteed value.
Mm-hmm. Not only gold is one extra relic. It's not massive, but still, anything helps at this point. But Liereyy hasn't even taken a single piece of stone yet, so castles and Liereyy is not something I'm gonna expect to see in the near future. Liereyy is sort of giving
like
up
the
water.
most stone-averse pro player ever. I feel like he's like always like never really bothered gathering stone.
I mean, Hera has to get some tingles here that something is happening. Because there's not a lot of galleons on the map for Liereyy. He doesn't see many of them. And now Liereyy is kind of throwing away these 10 galleons he has as well. There has to be some tingles from Hera realizing that something is going
on. No town watch either. That could have potentially helped out a little bit. But I mean, like, if you're in Hera's position, I feel like it's really just a huge mistake to have this, like, an entire right third of your island completely unexplored.
Yeah.
It's just like begging for some, barracks to be built in, and here come the condos.
The reaction time from Hera, one condo, it's a lot of condos coming out, and Hera should be hearing the alarm bell ticking or going off. No reaction so far, so it's going to be a lot of dead villagers here. He now knows, the question is how does he react to this? The issue for Liereyy is that all his barracks are on the shoreline, so once Hera sends 10-15 longboats there, the production of condos is pretty much stopped. But villager counts, Hera still has a village lead, he's making some berserks in reaction to that. Dropping another town center as well, just to get more, but I mean... That's the thing I'm saying, like, I don't see where the value is here for condos. He's not getting kills, and even if he gets 15-20 villager kills, that's not necessarily the end of the world for Hera.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think he has to do something with this opportunity, pulling the longboats away and then using it to take the center island, or maybe get like a forward castle on his opponent's island to do some like real game-ending damage to the opponent's infrastructure. But now it's actually going to be Hera who's going to be evacuating, going full Dunkirk right there, trying to escape with those villagers. I wonder what he's going to be doing with that, as the transport ship is kind of stuck.
Yeah, he's going to be transporting villagers to the center island here. He has a nice position with longboats on the front of Lierey's base as well. Going to take out a second town center there. Also, Lierey's monastery is in range of water units. Now, what Liereyy could be doing here with this, if he was taking stone, he could have dropped a castle on the right side and then controlled all the wood, right? Wood is something that Hera will struggle with in about 30 minutes, if we have time to watch that long. And then all the condos, if he took map control there with a castle, with some archery ranges, maybe bombard cannons, then it's a whole different story, right? But right now it's just barracks and it's just 4 villagers taking wood. And he pretty much surrendered map control and water for that. He has now started adding way more docks and started the galleon production again. And, I mean, he's gotten some solid villager kills. Hera is down to 67. And of course, there's a lot of idle time here. 20 idles at the moment.
I mean, yeah, it's very real economic damage that he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need much of an economy on islands, but you do need something of an economy. And, shipwright coming in, that's going to really allow Liereyy to catch up in those warship numbers a lot faster. I still think he's in definitely the favorable position, whatever the score may say.
I don't think so, because if you look at the army count, the chance that Hera is going to be outnumbered on water is very unlikely. No matter, like, it would pretty much be like Hera gives Liereyy 5 minutes of not fighting at all or not tickling each other at all. And I don't see Hera doing that, considering that he has taken this economic damage and he does have the massive army lead on the water.
Yeah, I think something that is important to consider is just the fact that the longboats can force the engagement super well.
Hera's taking the wood in the middle. Fantastic. Very
I mean,
important.
every little bit is worth it, right?
It's
I
true,
mean,
actually.
honestly, we've played those island games where it's like, man, if I only had like 300 extra wood, I could make like one cannon galleon.
I played a nice one where I was melee against Hera.
Yep,
And
I casted that game.
yeah, it was fun, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh, infinite fish traps. Never
Oh,
gets old.
good times. All right,
Trying to
so
garrison these galleons, but I mean, with no masonry even or architecture, I mean, those docks are just going to evaporate. I mean, even with it, there's 21 longboats will still take them down pretty quickly.
yeah, and now with all this gold invested into those condos, what did Liereyy actually accomplish? The villager counts are about similar. Hera's doing a secondary castle now on the right side to make sure that he's safe against the raids, and now Liereyy is trying to play catch up on water, which he's already suffering from 40. He's 40 warships behind already, so it's gonna be a very tough one for Liereyy to come back from.
And I think really importantly, he lost all the forward villagers.
Yes.
So now Hera's going to get another castle up, and
I think I will resign. Yep, indeed.
oh, that was weird.
And if you look at the left side as well, Lyra's gold is now, as we spoke about earlier, the gold is super unprotected. That's the only gold income he has, and he will not be able to take that gold. I mean, he never took stone as well, right? He has started taking some stone now, but he never took the opportunity to get stone in order to make a castle. So, Hera looking sharp here, 2-0.
Yeah, Hera looking quite good. And it's not like Liereyy was looking bad, because I think he won Yo 2-1, right, earlier?
Indeed.
So yeah, looks like you guys are all, you know,
It's
taking
neck and
blows
neck.
from each other.
Yeah, it's neck and neck at this point. I mean, I'm gonna get 3-0 by Yo, so you can just add points there, and then we have to see how I do against Liereyy later.
Well, yeah, those should all be some really sick series. But to be honest, this game I think just comes down to decision making, and like we just keep on beating in the fact that you're just going for condos without any sort of real follow up that is more tangible,
Yeah.
I guess.
And he made, what, 6 barracks? He could have gotten away with like 3 barracks and just some raids, force a reaction, and then transition from there on. But yeah, he never really, yeah, it's what you're saying. He didn't really prepare the transition afterwards. And that's where just Hera completely took control of the game on the water, at least.
Yep. Liereyy 130 stone gathered.
Feels
Big
Liereyy, man.
yikes. But yeah, like what is that, a 4.5 minute castle age time difference?
Pretty much, and Liereyy could have even been up like a minute earlier.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy, but it's just you can see in the timeline those that huge increase in units from Hera, and then just able to get the longboats out just in time to be able to micro down all of those fire ships.
Indeed. So now we have Hera's home map. I mean, this is what I said. I was surprised Liereyy picked islands to begin with against Hera. Don't feel like that's a map where Liereyy like has an edge on Hera in any way. As I said, I think Hera is probably one of the top 5, maybe top 3 even water map players. So a bit surprised by that. What home map do you think Hera's gonna pick here? I don't know if you have seen the list of all available home maps.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up again. It's mostly Arabia clones, right? Or at least Arabia similar maps.
No, there's maps like Hideout, Acropolis. There's some variation there.
Oh yeah, like there's definitely some variation, but they all tend towards being open land maps, which I mean it makes sense, I guess, for a Hera organized tournament. No clown town, no arena.
Hideout
Very
and Red
sad.
Fortress is the closest to Clown Town.
Yeah.
Well, you had Hamburger as well. We saw Hamburger with Yo against Liereyy earlier. So there's not only Arabia clones, there's some wacky maps as well.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some interesting maps. I mean, you have Scandi, you have Socotra. Yucatan is something we very rarely see for 1v1s.
Yeah, indeed. Not even sure what civ I would go for if I played a Yucatan. Mongols and Mayans are like the go-to civs there for the longest time in AOC. But we're not playing AOC anymore.
We're not?
No, we're not.
If you look at the like the pick rates in KUTD, it's like all like AOC civs plus Khmer.
Lithuanians.
And Lithuanians, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Yeah, yeah.
Portuguese,
Only you.
100% win rate.
Hey, man, I felt like Tatars were criminally underpicked. They had 100% win rate.
Woman, I'm hungry. Yes, I am hungry. Arrange something. I mean, I'm supposed to play after this match, so that's unfortunate. I would need something small that is easy to eat, like between sets. It's already 8. Damn. Gonna be a long day. Already 8. We're only on the third set.
Big yikes.
Big yikes. What do I want you to make me? I mean, what are you?
Hopefully you're getting some regular refreshments.
I'm trying. I will take a quick minute break here. I'm gonna go and discuss my nutritional plan for the day with the woman. So
Go do that. Have fun.
You can entertain my stream if you want, sell out a little bit,
Boy.
or I'll just put music, whatever you prefer.
I can entertain people.
Oh boy, guys, tell jokes, Orndo. Tell jokes.
Okay. What was the Tom Hanks movie that Viper most associates himself with? Castaway, because he's washed up. Chair plus Orin Lou. Sorry, that's about all I could do on the spot, guys. I hope you're enjoying the cast with Viper. I guess I'll sell out quickly. I do stream all the time on my own Twitch channel, like the co-caster commands being spammed constantly. So yeah, definitely do give me a follow if you are enjoying this. I'm having fun with Viper. But yeah, I stream very regularly, stream most tournaments, do all that stuff. No, the campaign quotes are only on my stream. Something about myself? Well, I'm an AoE caster, been streaming for almost 3 years now. And yeah, I've been casting a lot of big tournaments, like co-cast with Hera next. I don't think so. I have 0 plans right now. See me since NAC3? I'm around, guys. I'm around. I'm always here and there. I'm mega turbo pro. Man wants donor. Can't really blame him. What's my elo? I'm like 1700 DE.
In campaigns.
Oh no, that's like 2K5.
Oof. All right.
Just kidding.
So, did they start? No, they did not. Orly just roasted me. Orly, what did you say?
Oh, I asked chat which Tom Hanks movie you would most be associated with, and I said Castaway because
For sure.
you're washed up.
Washed up. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Even I would have gotten that one. So the map is
it's all I could come up with on the spot. Cross is the next map.
Cross is the map. Fair Civs
I've never heard of
Cross.
this map. Is it similar to Four Lakes?
Yeah, it's very similar to Four Lakes actually. It's a kind of a rip-off of Four Lakes.
I'm pretty sure it's exactly Four Lakes. Or Cross, same thing.
I wonder if there's any code in the map that is changed at all.
I think honestly it has to do with the name Cross and like religious symbolism or something like that.
Could be.
But are they in game or did you just see the lobby?
Just see the lobby. They're not in game yet. Burkadurkadu, thank you for the 2 months. MXFX Alpha, thank you for the Prime. Dead Moose with the 32 long months, thank you very much. Michalis 2 with the 2 months, to be fair, indeed. Spike Spiegel, thank you for 2 months as well. Imaginary 7 with the Prime.
All the maps we have, no.
Much appreciated. Web looks so tired. Dude, I've been live for like 4 hours, man. And I have only played 1 set. I'm gonna die.
Feels bad, man. He did the sports. played sports ball?
Yeah, I did sports earlier as well, so I did the sports. Oh, I think the game has started. I can't find the lobby anymore. Indeed, it has begun.
It's always a fun guessing game on DE.
Yes. So, civilizations. We have Japanese against What? Hera must have made a mistake. No, wait. No, he was Vikings last game. What? He's Italians?
My DE is bugging out and I can't find the lobby, so you go ahead and take it away. Show us your pro
I am
casting
taking
skills.
it away. Italians? What? That's my casting. I don't understand the choice for Italians here. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad civ. It is a good civ by all means. But I can think of better options for this map than Italians. Ship efficient ships.
It's cross, right? So I would
No,
say
it's
Japanese,
Forlix.
Huns, Malians, all would be
Malay.
Malay, Persians.
Yeah, like Liereyy is going for the standard pick, which would Japanese are very standard here. Persians, I don't know if I would agree anymore after the Dark Age removal buff from Dark Age removed, and crossbows aren't as cheap anymore. But Japanese, Malay, go-tos. Italians is definitely an interesting pick.
I mean, like it makes sense in theory. It's just, you know, you can only pick one civ, and you can repeat civs between different series. So kind of strange.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see how they play out. I'm just thinking like long term. I mean, Italians is not a bad civ. Imperial Age as well, you get full blacksmith, you have hussar, you have skirms. You're missing halberdiers though, which is probably an issue. But maybe not against a civ like Japanese.
Yeah. Against Japanese, it's not that bad. I mean, both civs are kind of... They don't have a sort of intrinsic power unit that they go for on land. It's more about sort of countering whatever the opponent's doing. I mean, yeah, they both have arbalests, but I think it's going to be a lot of like back and forth trying to counter. Like both have good monks, both have like fairly meh siege.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least Italians have bomber cannons, right? Japanese do not have that, so that's something that could be very useful in ranged battles. And also Italians have also Italians have... Oh, the boar stopped. Italians also have one extra armor on the archers. So I mean,
it's actually really good.
Yeah, in a matchup like this, where it's Italians against Japanese, I guess I don't mind Italians as much. Would be worse if it was against a civ like Persians or something with like Hussar and really good cavalry.
Well, you do have genbos, but those can be kind of hard to get up and running, especially if you don't really have like all the infrastructure you would want. But I really like this map. I mean, I think it might have gotten overplayed a little bit in tournaments, but I think this is probably like... yeah.
It is a great map.
It's a great map. I think that there's a lot of different ways it can play out, but we did see it quite a lot for quite a while.
Like
it's been a little while now.
Every tournament. Let's look at the maps a little bit here. I'm looking at Hera's map, and I'm not liking it a lot. The wood on the bottom left kind of serves as a long wall, but I don't like his gold positions, locations. All of them quite exposed towards the front. I mean, he could go for some long walls. Tim would definitely find a way to wall this, so it's not impossible, but I'm not a big fan of his map.
I mean, CL would already be walled at this point.
Yeah, even woodlines, actually. Like, for Hera, it's only one natural good woodline. The rest of the map is very kind of awkward for him. Oh, he almost killed the boar with the TC. Danger. Well, if you look at Lyra's map, 3 woodlines that are thick and nice. Stone is nice, bears to the back, gold to the back, deer to the back. Liereyy has a really nice map.
Did you give Liereyy your map hacks?
I did not. I keep them for myself.
Imbalanced. Oh yes, naturally. Yeah, they're gonna be interesting. Because with Hera's map being so open, it would sort of lend itself to him wanting to be a bit more aggressive. And you know, you have cheaper uptime with Italians. You can... or cheaper upgrade means you can essentially afford an extra men-at-arm or scout if that's how you want to open.
Is he gonna spot the no-loom villager? He does. The quick walls are in.
But can he not build the dock? Oh, well, he can just...
He doesn't have the wood yet.
No, I meant like, does he have the space?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he has to delete a palisade on the right side, but I think he wants to go further anyway. He's doing loom now, so he's gonna click up. How do you think this plays out now? Do you think there's feudal age, archers, sneaky docks? How do you think it plays out?
Well, there's a ton of different ways this map can play out, and both have very similar uptimes. Liereyy is actually going up with one more villager, so... Oh, no, okay, just had a little bit of a faster dock then. But Lierey's going to be walling up. Hera still is quite open, having to, journey across the universe to go find that other wood line, and I would definitely, like, especially since he's going for that wood line, I'd like to see him do something a bit more aggressive.
I would agree with that, but he's probably just gonna safely wall. I mean, I don't like the way he walled that as well, right?
No.
Archers can still come behind there and harass it.
Still build a tower there and it can be really annoying.
He might do like another wall with the villagers going down now, but Liereyy going for the second dock on the bottom lake. Hera so far not showing any signs of trying to get a secondary dock up, nor forward or defensively, while Liereyy is fish booming on the left side still and just walling up nice and safely with the nice map he has.
Indeed he is, and is not going to be incorporating the southern pond into his overall walling, but that's honestly fine. He still has the dock up here way faster, so he can just make a galley if he really feels the need to. But with Japanese and their fishing ships being, well, super insane, it's really going to bolster his food eco, and I feel like he needs to be doing something here.
Yeah, I mean, he's going for massive walls now. This is such a weird wall, though, on the bottom side. Like,
yeah.
Archers can still walk all the way to the woodline there. Hera's just looks like he's playing completely standard, just dropping on archery range. Like, he's not even finished the barracks yet, but that will probably be an archery range. He's going to lose his scout as well, because he did eat some arrows from the town center. So, Liereyy as well with the 2 docks, the Japanese fishing ship. He's looking to be in a very good position right now. Yes, woman? Okay. What do you want?
Hera tempting fate. Gonna be running away, and Liereyy not even with any sort of barracks or anything like that. He's just content to just be chilling, making some fishing ships, not even bothering with making a galley on the southern dock yet to make sure his opponent doesn't get one up, but seems to be looking for it just in case. So...
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, no problem.
Had to take care of the nutritional plan. So, where we at? Barracks now from Liereyy is going to drop an archery range himself.
Second range coming in here for Hera.
Hera
In a really weird spot. Like, the archery ranges are like right back at his base, but his walls are like all the way to the center of the map.
Yeah. Some weird ass walls on the top side as well. House and a blacksmith just like randomly.
Oh yeah.
He still has a scout alive. He really should use that scout to try and like figure out how to wall the top side, because there is a natural way to wall it. It's just massive walls.
But I mean, I guess in terms of like the amount of wood that you're spending trying to get those walls up, it's not that bad, as you can kind of just connect the dots between the cliffs and the tree lines. But I mean, you're just so exposed while doing so. But it's kind of lucky for Hera, I guess, that Lierey's playing this quite passively and just went for the much more eco-focused approach. But then on the other hand, that means that Liereyy is going to have a better eco.
Well, yeah, you can't really call it lucky that he did that, right? Because Hera's... this was Hera's... I assume this was his plan to begin with. I don't think this is like an adapted based on the map. I mean, it could be actually. I could be wrong there. But, like... Liereyy would never play aggressive to begin with here anyway, because he does have the Japanese and everything. And if Liereyy played aggressive, I think Hera would be in a way better spot, because then Hera would have the numbers to defend quite easily. So,
yeah, definitely.
He's rather unlucky, I would say, that Liereyy isn't playing aggressive.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I was just mostly thinking about him not being walled in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he seems to be kind of okay, despite having the weirdest walls I've seen in quite a while.
This is so strange.
He is up on his way to Castle Age, though. Still a little bit behind his opponent, and just not even trying to contest other docks, or other pawns with docks, so that's...
He's going to the top side now, so he will make a dock there.
Okay.
But obviously it's a bit late. But I mean, he does have the archer numbers now. The uptime shouldn't be massively different. So there's definitely potential for Hera still to make things happen here with his army numbers. But yeah, the food economy from Liereyy should be insane. Already banking 500 food without... Yeah, like, it's not a massive investment either. Like, he actually made a fire galley on the bottom side, so he doesn't want to be hit on the water, as Hera finds the docking villager of Liereyy on the top side. Liereyy should be fine, however, but that's probably the only place we're gonna see water contestant, like a contest for the water.
Yep, definitely the case, and you can see the fact that the scout was taking some damage earlier, kind of just from the TC, could have been a bit of a problem, as maybe Hera, if he had some more HP on the scout, could have just sniped the villager and prevented this, from becoming an issue at all. But now second dock has to be on the way,
This is
and there
so
has to be just more investment.
strange. Hera sending his whole archer army to the top side to kill the one villager. In the meantime, Liereyy obviously goes to Hera's base, and suddenly Liereyy has 7 archers or crossbows in front of Lierey's ranges. Well, Hera is completely out of position. Like, he doesn't need more than one archer to kill that villager or finish that villager off.
No, he does not, and now he's just kind of out of position, trying to maybe come in with the flank, but Lierey's going to be retreating just a little bit. He was working on one archery range longer than Hera.
He's not doing crossbow, he's investing to war galleys. We can't afford crossbow. He has fletching, but no crossbow. This can be so ugly for him. He does fall back, though, and yeah, he will buy the time, but yeah, that was quite weird indeed.
Like, just imagine how different this would be if Hera's scout had like 15 more HP and could kill that villager, and he wouldn't have invested in the second dock, getting the war galley upgrade, and getting now 2 fire ships, as Lierey's been making literally nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I like what he's doing there. He's doing one villager, dropping a TC in a nice position there on the gold, on the woodlands. That's going to be very nice for him. But yeah, it's just the longer Hera waits here, the better it gets for Liereyy. That's the issue for him, because Liereyy just has a super solid equal. Liereyy could even go fast imp. It wouldn't surprise me if he's even doing that, because he's doing a second mining camp to the front. He has 17 villagers on gold right now. That could easily turn into a fast Imperial play.
Yeah, and I honestly think that would be a really strong option, because like, what are you even going to do to stop that if you're Hera?
Good
nice dodge so far, and
Hera
hasn't actually like taken any damage. Okay, there you go.
Oh, there he stopped for a minute there. Lost another 1 crossbow. So 1 for 1 so far. Not too bad, but he has to fall back and make something happen with that. As check Lierey's resources. 500 gold in the bank, 800 food, and Hera's just trying to micro this. Liereyy really wants to keep his numbers alive, because Lierey's going to go Imperial Age, and the more numbers he has hitting imp, the more scary it's going to be.
Hera just lost everything.
Indeed.
But yeah, with the university coming down for Liereyy, it's definitely going to be the fast imp option.
Yeah, Hera with the 8 villagers in the queue. Looking nowhere near. I mean, if he cancels all the vills, he would actually be not too far from imp as well, but I have a hard time seeing him committing on that. Liereyy with the 1,000 food, 20 gold. Man, this Japanese economy on this map, insane.
0 farms needed.
Yeah.
Feels good, man.
Nice target fire from Liereyy there. As the Imperial Age has been clicked for Liereyy, I wonder if Hera actually realizes what's going on. Either way, the worst part is that he's going imp. Liereyy has more crossbows than Hera, and he's going to have Arblast very soon.
Yeah, that's going to be really tricky.
Yeah, how does Hera stop this?
I was thinking like maybe a skirm switch, but it's like Hera's food income isn't like that insane.
Well, look at Hera's resources. Not too far off.
Not too far off, but even if they hit imp at the exact same time, Lierey's going to be pulling further ahead in numbers. Because, I mean, they're both going for double range crossbow production. So since Lierey's like ahead already, he's just going to keep on getting more and more ahead unless Hera can take like a super good fight.
Yeah, but I mean, look at villager counts now. Hera is now pulling ahead in villager count. If he just rushed up that university, cancelled villagers, went to imp, I would have given him a good fighting chance. But since he's biding his time here and actually not rushing the imp at all, I think there's going to be a couple of minutes where, especially considering his map as well, where it's going to be a really hard hold for him as his Magna comes forward. There's a ram out for Liereyy.
Yeah, what's the ram at the siege workshop that's on the other side of the map going to be for?
Yeah, must have been a misclick, right? I mean, there's a chance he wanted to just break the house quickly, but ooh, nice target fire. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens here.
Coming in for Liereyy. Does Hera have it already? I didn't see it.
Don't think. He just finished university, so I don't think he has it. He is on the way to imp as well, though, but there is about 2 minutes difference here. So for Hera, it will be all about buying time now. He does have a villager lead, though, so if he actually manages to buy the time, and we say villager lead, we mean fishing ship as well. If he manages to buy time here, he's gonna be in a fine position. Adding more ranges. Still only 2 TCs though. He probably has to do another town center somewhere to secure his position a little bit further. But the good thing for Hera is that he's aggressive right now, so Liereyy is gonna start this from his own base.
Yeah, it's just going to take Liereyy a little bit of time to actually just get across the map to his opponent. And you can sort of see the eco lead being manifested in that Hera is able to go for 4 ranges right now, whereas Liereyy is still working off of only the 3 for the time being. So Hera going to be able to potentially catch up in numbers if he can avoid taking a fight with Liereyy for a time being. Mangonel will be getting sniped, but he's crawling his way up there, and if this does go long, if you can actually get Pavisa in for your extra armor, you actually like win archer battles against Vietnamese. It's actually like really sick.
Wow, that's sick.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I'm looking at Hera's economy. I'm confused as to why there is not a third town center yet, because he definitely has the eco to afford that. He's also not making the skirmishes switch, so he's going for the all-out Arbalest fighter. And I mean, populations are very similar, and it looks like we're going to be transitioning into a equal Arbalest fight in Imperial Age. So, yeah, this is gonna be a close game once again.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. Clipped some units, did a little bit of damage, but not really paying for itself, I would say. And what I was just about to ask you is, how does Hera avoid taking the fight until his upgrades come in? But honestly, his eco's all pretty far away. It's just kind of this empty void that he just kind of walled in.
I feel like he needed a town center on the bottom right. If they would just go straight there now with Arbalest, then Hera's gonna lose 11 villagers.
That's exactly what he's going to be doing.
He's gonna try.
The villagers are trying to run into the black area.
Oh, he might even lose fishing ship. That's actually also quite a heavy loss if he does. But Liereyy splitting his army here will give Hera a nice trade against one of the armies. So as long as he can avoid taking too much damage from the other group of Arbalest, then Hera should still be in an alright position.
This is actually something that I saw you do in your set against Hera. That game on Cenotes, where you were splitting up your crossbowmen into a bunch of different groups. I thought that you could have just been divided and conquered just by Hera's better numbers. So do you think there's like times where you really should be going for like splitting up your archers into a bunch of different groups?
I think what Liereyy did here was probably a wrong decision, yeah. But I think in my game I felt like I was so behind that I had to do that. Like I had to try and make things happen. But Liereyy here isn't behind as in, oh, I have to do damage, right? So in this case, I think splitting up was a mistake from Liereyy. Now I think we will just transition into a fairly equal post-Imperial fight here. And finally Hera did the third town center, which could have been up a long time ago. But yeah, Mangonel and Arbalest is going to be able to clean up the army in the back of the base. So after that fight, Hera should have a fairly convincing army lead, as Liereyy is coming in from the left side as well. So there's a fight on the right side, and he's going to lose about 8 villagers on the left side. So good multi-prong harass from Liereyy here. So okay, Hera only lost 3 vills. It's not too bad.
Hera only lost a few vills. Notably, Hera does not have chemistry on the way. Nor does he have any... Well, he only has 1 defense upgrade, so in a straight-up shootout, it's actually going to be a very large advantage to Liereyy, although Hera getting some nice cleanup damage right there. Still, I think it's a pretty uncomfortable spot for Hera. Isn't just now grabbing chemistry, but we still have all of the momentum in the game in favor of Liereyy.
Yeah, indeed. Hera is reacting to everything Liereyy is doing, but he's doing a decent job at it. He's 20 vills behind, but he does have a military lead, so I think now Lierey's aggression is finished. I don't think he can like keep forcing Hera to react to his moves. So now it's going to become more of a Hera trying to dictate fights and being aggressive. As he killed 2 Arbalest for free and running straight into the army. No sign of... I mean, Liereyy actually has a TC on stone, believe it or not. So there might be a castle or some towers happening.
There is a castle coming up here in this very critical hill in the middle of the map. And Hera actually falling back just a little bit.
It's actually an amazing castle. It's a really, really well-placed castle. Middle of the map, pretty much, on this cross. I think he will be very happy with that. But I still feel like we're going to transition into a post-Imperial game where both players are going to hit 200 population. All in all, I think we have to give credit to Hera for actually surviving with this. We have to be honest, it's a terrible map.
Yeah,
So,
it is not a good map. He didn't really have the greatest opening on it either.
yeah.
But he's just been very, very resilient, and that's something that we've been seeing a lot. Just with all of these top players, is they're able to drag out games long.
Yeah.
Oh, big shootout
big
here. That's going to
fight.
favor Hera.
Great micro from Liereyy there. Hera has 21. Hera has 25, 22. I think they're trading quite equal all in all. Both of them.
But you know what? This is actually the difference of the armor upgrades, I feel. Because
Yeah.
before, when like now they're just, firing volleys and sniping individual arbalests, but when they were just in a big shootout, it was only +1 defense against +4 defense. And I think that really helped Liereyy equal things out, and he's even going to be winning this fight. Even though he had like maybe 40% fewer units or something.
Such micro nerds, these kids as well. Hera not taking any stone yet himself, so Pavis is looking quite far off. He's now trying to make a skirmishes switch, but I fear that it might be too little too late. Still, he's getting the last armor upgrade as well, so once he has that in, the skirms will start trading very well, but the question is he already too far behind for it to make any difference? Population says
Lierey's
yes.
going to be mixing in his own skirms as well, so at that point it's kind of, it's equal in that sense, and we already have Liereyy now with a massive military lead. He's knocking at the front door of Hera. Hera still with no stone, as you say. Liereyy could honestly come in with another castle soon, and that could just be bopping Hera out of this last game.
Yeah, not only a military lead, a quite massive economy lead as well, and that just, it all translates into each other at this point. And I feel like we're seeing the last couple of seconds of this game as Liereyy takes the hill and closes the game out. Of course,
GG.
Quite unfortunate map from Hera, and I'm not sure if his playstyle here with the like massive walling, the barracks into double range feudal age, I'm not sure if that was his game plan to begin with, or if it was an adapted strategy based on the map. But either way, Liereyy probably had the better approach here with the double docks, getting the fish boom, playing defensively. To be fair, he could do that because he had an amazing map behind it as well. But yeah, well done to Liereyy. Making it another 2-1 series, and yeah, it's as close as it can be.
2-1, 2-1, 2-1.
Indeed. Funnily enough, Liereyy lost his home map and Hera lost his home map. Oh.
To just AM tempo things.
Economies weren't that far apart, all things considered, but yeah, the stone mine and the gold mine, quite massive. Food as well. Japanese definitely showing why they're considered very strong on this map.
And I think it's a matter of like when the eco came in, like if you took a look at this chart at like 20 minutes in the game, I think we'd be seeing a massive food lead for Liereyy, and I think that definitely played a big role.
Not unlikely at all. Only I will go ahead and get ready for my games.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for dropping by.
Yeah, of course, man. A lot of fun. I don't think we've ever cast together before.
I think it's probably the first time. Yeah, we haven't casted during NEC, have we?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, good luck in your set versus Yo. I'll definitely be checking it out. So yeah, good luck, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And if you want to join for the later set as well, which set is that? It's Hera Yo, I think.
Yeah, if I think I'll probably be around, but yeah, we'll see you later then, maybe.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, see you, man.
Bye.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go take a quick pee-pee break. I'm hosting, so I'm expecting Yo to join any second now. This is all fine. All right, let me take a quick pee-pee break, and once I'm back, we're gonna be facing Mr. 7-0. Oh no. M's Land Hennes, thank you for the 2 months, by the way. MBC Deck with the Prime. AB the Knight, thank you for the 3 months. Kip Power with the 2 months. Cool NIYC with the 5 months. Much appreciated, guys. I'll be right back quickly. Stay tuned.